Dodgers fans, what a way to start the postseason. If anyone thought this team would ease into October, Tuesday night put all doubts to rest. The Los Angeles Dodgers came out swinging against the Cincinnati Reds and delivered a statement win that shook the ballpark, a 10-5 blowout fueled by relentless power at the plate and just enough resilience to overcome bullpen chaos late in the game. It was the kind of night that perfectly showcased why this roster is built for October drama. But it also reminded us that no lead is ever truly safe in playoff baseball. From the very first pitch, the tone was set by none other than Shohei Ohtani. The superstar, in his very first postseason in Dodger blue, wasted no time etching his name into franchise history. Facing Hunter Green's 100-mile-per-hour heater, Ohtani timed it perfectly and blasted the ball just over the right field wall for a leadoff home run. That swing not only ignited the crowd, but also made Ohtani the first Dodger ever to record multiple leadoff home runs in postseason history. You could almost feel the electricity running through the stadium as the fans roared. Ohtani later admitted it was a tough pitch to handle, but the way he adjusted so quickly was just another reminder of why this guy is different. It's one thing to face velocity like Green's. It's another to punish it in the opening at-bat of October baseball. And Ohtani wasn't done. He stepped in again later and launched his second homer of the night, putting an exclamation point on what has already been a historic postseason debut with the Dodgers. Manager Dave Roberts spoke about how this is exactly why Ohtani chose Los Angeles, and he couldn't be more right. Big moments under the bright lights, with the whole world watching, Ohtani thrives in this environment. His focus sharpens, his at-bats elevate, and suddenly you realize you're watching a generational player in the most pressure-packed games of the year. This is the exact stage he wanted when he signed, and he's proving that he belongs at the center of it all. But Ohtani wasn't the only one swinging for the fences. Teoscar Hernandez matched him blast for blast, delivering 2 home runs of his own and driving in 4 runs that broke the game wide open. His first shot came in the 3rd inning, a 3-run bomb off Hunter Green that sent Dodger Stadium into a frenzy. That swing pushed the lead to 4, and it felt like Los Angeles was ready to run away with it early. Then a couple of innings later, Hernandez did it again, this time going opposite field against Connor Phillips. In postseason baseball, you need multiple stars stepping up, and on this night the Dodgers had exactly that in Ohtani and Hernandez. 5 home runs as a team in a single playoff game is nothing short of terrifying for opposing pitchers, and the Reds got the full dose of Dodger firepower. The offense was relentless, but the story of the night wasn't only about the home runs. While the bats gave the Dodgers a comfortable cushion, the bullpen nearly let the Reds all the way back into it. What should have been a smooth finish turned into 30 minutes of agony in the top of the 8th inning. 3 pitchers, 59 pitches, and way too many tense moments later, the Dodgers finally escaped with their lead intact. At one point, what had been a commanding 8-run cushion shrank to just 5, and the Reds had the tying run potentially looming with 1 swing. The Dodgers survived, but it was a reminder that their relief corps remains the biggest question mark in this playoff run. Dave Roberts didn't hide his frustration after the game. He admitted that Alex Vesia simply wasn't sharp, and Edgardo Enriquez lost all command of the strike zone. These are tough moments for a manager, because in a 10-2 game you're trying to save your top arms and trust guys to get you through lower pressure innings. Instead, it turned into chaos, and the bullpen almost unraveled. Teoscar Hernandez brushed it off afterward, saying those moments are part of the game and you just have to keep moving forward. He's right, but fans know that if this continues deeper into October, it could be costly against stronger lineups. As if the bullpen drama wasn't enough, the Dodgers also dropped a postseason bombshell with their roster decisions. The wildcard roster was announced, and one name missing shocked plenty of people: Michael Conforto. After spending $17 million this year on a player with championship experience, Los Angeles made the tough call to leave him off for this series against Cincinnati. Instead, they welcomed back catcher Will Smith, who had been sidelined for more than 3 weeks after taking a foul ball to the hand. Even if Smith isn't catching full games right away, his bat off the bench could change everything, and the Dodgers clearly valued that option over keeping Conforto in the mix. Roberts explained that the decision came down to roster balance. With Max Muncy and Tommy Edman in the infield picture, they felt more comfortable carrying an extra infielder rather than doubling up with Conforto's bat. When you ask yourself who you'd rather have ready to pinch hit, Will Smith or Michael Conforto, the answer was pretty clear to the staff. For Conforto, it's a tough blow, especially after he tried to rally in September with a late-season push. His overall numbers just weren't there, hitting under 200 with 12 home runs, and in the end that made the decision easier. It's not necessarily the end of the road for him this postseason, though. Roberts emphasized that Conforto remains one of his favorites and that he'll be ready if called upon. But for now, he's watching from the outside, and it's a reminder that in October, reputation alone doesn't guarantee a spot. Even veterans can find themselves left off if the performance doesn't measure up. And Conforto wasn't the only big name left out. Clayton Kershaw, a legend in Los Angeles, also didn't make the wild card roster. At first glance, that seemed shocking, but the explanation made sense. Kershaw pitched in the regular season finale, which meant his arm wouldn't be ready again until the division series opener against the Phillies. Rather than carry him on the roster for a series he wouldn't pitch in, the Dodgers opted to leave him off and keep their flexibility elsewhere. That decision had more to do with timing than performance, unlike Conforto's case. Another surprising omission was Anthony Bonda, who had been lights out over his last 23 innings with a microscopic earned run average. Yet the Dodgers chose Tyler Glasnow over him, showing that even strong numbers don't always guarantee a spot when a roster puzzle is this complicated. These moves left plenty of fans debating whether Los Angeles made the right choices. Was it too risky to leave off a hot reliever like Bonda? Could Conforto have delivered a big postseason swing? Time will tell. For now, the Dodgers are betting on balance, trusting their depth, and leaning on their superstars to carry the load. Even with all the noise surrounding roster choices, the real story of this October journey is how the Dodgers balance their explosive offense with the constant challenge of holding leads late in games. Tuesday night was a perfect microcosm of both their greatest strength and their most glaring weakness. On one hand, you saw a lineup that can change the scoreboard in a heartbeat. 5 home runs, 2 superstars putting on a show, and a relentless energy that made the Reds look overmatched for most of the evening. On the other hand, you watched a bullpen unravel to the point where the entire stadium felt that uncomfortable tension creeping back in, the same feeling that has haunted Dodgers fans in recent Octobers. It's not enough to hit your way to an early cushion. You have to finish the job, and that is where this team is still trying to prove itself. What makes this year's Dodgers team so fascinating is the blend of new faces and familiar ones. Shohei Ohtani is the obvious headline, the megastar who chose Los Angeles for nights exactly like this. Every time he steps to the plate, the energy shifts, and you can sense the expectation in the crowd. It's almost unfair for pitchers when they have to deal with him at the top of the order, because one mistake can flip the game instantly. Then you add in Teoscar Hernandez, who has quietly become one of the most impactful bats in this lineup. His power to all fields, his ability to drive and runs when the lights are brightest, that's the kind of depth every contender dreams of. This duo showed against Cincinnati that they are more than capable of carrying the offense when it matters. But Los Angeles isn't only relying on those two. Will Smith's return is like a hidden weapon. Before the injury, he was one of the most consistent hitters on the team, cruising well above 300 after the All-Star break. His presence in the middle of the lineup not only deepens the batting order, but also gives Roberts options off the bench. A playoff team is often defined by its bench bats, the ones who can step in during the 7th or 8th inning and deliver a clutch hit. That's why the decision to prioritize Smith over Conforto makes sense. Even if Smith is used sparingly at first, the threat of his bat changes how opposing managers think about matchups late in games. Of course, the other side of the coin is the pitching. For years, the Dodgers have been known for their deep rotations, the kind of arms that could dominate a full postseason run. But this October feels different. With Kershaw's innings carefully managed, Glasnow stepping in as a workhorse, and the bullpen still searching for consistency, Every decision Roberts makes carries extra weight. The wild card series may only be a few games, but one mistake, one blown lead, and suddenly the season can shift. That's why the struggles in the eighth inning stood out so much. You can't afford those meltdowns against stronger lineups, and you know the Phillies are watching closely, already thinking about how to exploit those cracks if Los Angeles advances. Still, there's something to be said about how the Dodgers handle adversity. Even when the bullpen faltered, the offense refused to let momentum slip completely away. The energy in the dugout remained high. The players picked each other up, and you could sense that belief running through the team. That's not always the case in October, when pressure can suffocate a lineup. For Los Angeles, the challenge isn't about talent. They clearly have that in abundance. It's about putting together 9 full innings without letting weaknesses be exposed. If they can tighten things up, the ceiling is a championship. If not, they risk watching another promising season collapse too soon. The Dodgers' postseason identity has always been under a microscope because expectations are sky high. This isn't a team that's just happy to be here. Fans demand more, and anything short of a deep run is viewed as a failure. That's why the spotlight burns even brighter on Roberts' decisions. Leaving Conforto off the roster, resting Kershaw, rolling with certain relievers over others. Every move will be dissected in real time. But in fairness, this is exactly what managers sign up for in Los Angeles. The pressure matches the talent, and the scrutiny never goes away. Roberts has seen it all before, and he knows that at the end of the day, results will silence the noise. If Ohtani and Hernandez keep hitting like this, and the bullpen finds even a sliver of stability, Roberts' choices will look brilliant. If things go south, those same decisions will be questioned endlessly. Looking ahead, the Dodgers don't just want to beat the Reds. They want to send a message to the rest of the National League. The Phillies are looming, a team that has given Los Angeles fits in recent postseasons with their power bats and fearless mentality. Philadelphia thrives in October chaos, and if the Dodgers are going to face them, they need to show that their bullpen can withstand the storm. You can slug your way past the Reds, but against Bryce Harper and company, the margin for error is razor thin. That's why games like Tuesday matter so much. Not only do you advance, but you also build confidence, you test your bullpen, and you learn what works under playoff pressure. The beauty of postseason baseball is that no game feels the same, and momentum can swing instantly. Ohtani's leadoff blast changed the atmosphere in a single swing, and later the bullpen nearly shifted it back the other way. That's October in a nutshell. Dodgers fans have seen it all before. The heartbreaks, the triumphs, the blown saves, and the unforgettable moments. This team has the talent to write a different story, but the test is only beginning. Every pitch, every at-bat, every substitution matters more now than it did all season long. For Los Angeles, the journey is about proving that this group isn't just another collection of stars, but a unit capable of conquering the chaos of October. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Los Angeles is buzzing with the kind of rumor that turns an ordinary offseason into the stuff of baseball mythology. Word has it that ADLEY RUTSCHMAN, the 26-year-old catcher who has already carved out a reputation as one of the most complete backstops in the game, is set to become the franchise catcher of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Though nothing has been formally confirmed beyond whispers and murmurs leaking out of both coasts, the speculation has caught fire, fueled by late-night talk radio, cryptic posts from insiders, and the Dodgers' history of making bold, era-defining moves. For years, Los Angeles has sought stability behind the plate. While they have had serviceable catchers, none carry the aura of a franchise cornerstone since the days of Mike Piazza. RUTSCHMAN, meanwhile, has been the golden boy in Baltimore, the face of a rebuild that promised brighter futures for the Orioles. His defensive command, pitcher management, and clutch bat made him untouchable in theory. And yet, baseball is a business, and whispers suggest that the Dodgers may have finally made an offer too grand for the Orioles to ignore. The rumor mill says this isn't just about numbers on a contract, but about vision. The Dodgers, perpetually a step ahead, are reportedly crafting a lineup that blends power with defensive brilliance, star power with clubhouse leadership. RUTSCHMAN is exactly that mold, a player who can shepherd a pitching staff and swing momentum with one at-bat. Insiders close to the situation claim that meetings have already taken place, that jerseys are being quietly mocked up, and that Dodger Stadium could soon be preparing to welcome a new face of the franchise. Skeptics point out that deals of this magnitude rarely materialize overnight. Orioles fans, fiercely protective of their catcher, are clinging to hope that this is nothing more than noise. Yet, in Los Angeles, the idea feels intoxicatingly real. The Dodgers have the resources, the ambition, and the stage. Whether rumor or destiny, the thought of ADLEY RUTSCHMAN in Dodger blue has already sent shockwaves through Major League Baseball. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.